Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the North American Star Team League. We have Evil Geniuses up against Empire, a rematch from the Ghosted Coaching Premier League Finals. Right now, Empire is up 2-1, and we're going to head over into our fourth match. This is going to be a game point, obviously, for Empire. You need to win a score of, obviously, 3 wins to get there. Now, as I said before, if Empire loses here and EG wins, the score will be 2-2. We'll have an ace match. Both teams actually choose any player they want from their team, so they can reuse players, and then they go into a best-of-3 ace match, loser picks round, and that'll determine the clan war. So from here on out, it's going to be really, well, the pressure's on, and we are going to see Machine versus Koss for a fourth match. So let's go ahead and get into the game, and we will find out the results. So this is Tal'Darim Altar, or TDA, as FireZerg always likes to say. In the top left-hand corner, we have Redeemer. This is not in control, though. Nope. This is actually Machine. In the pink, Zerg. He always chooses pink. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have Empire Koss as the Terran extraordinaire, in my opinion, of the Empire team.
Oh yeah, that he certainly is. And now, looking at these positions, you always have to say cross positions definitely favor the Zergy. So Bryce has got to be happy about that.
Yeah, and why is that?
You have more space. Terran wants to be the one putting on the pressure. They want to be doing the pushes with the Marines and the medevacs and the tanks, and Zerg just needs some space. They need to get out their mutas, they need to get up their upgrades and their banelings with the speed to be able to stop that. The more space you have, the more time you have.
So in terms of like openings, how do you think, I want to say Bryce, Machine. How do you think Machine should actually play this out? I mean, you say that, of course, you want mutas for all the particular, harass and stuff like that. You can definitely get them out safely without having to get banelings, but how do you think he should actually go for this? Should he go for the fast third? I've seen fast third, so you just go mass circling baneling into mutas. I've seen just 2-based mutas into expansions. I've seen not even mutas, and you just go, Zergling, Roach, and Fester, that type of deal. How do you think that's going to work out?
Well, I would expect the composition to be mutiling Baneling, not only because that is typically what you see in this matchup, but also because he's on the same team as Idra, and Idra is a champion of that composition in this matchup. I would expect to see, in terms of an opening, I know we're kind of seeing it unfold right now, but I would like to see 15 hatch, since that's what you typically see, but also, taking a note from the Koreans, they usually put down a 17 extractor or a 16 extractor. Here we see he's going to go for the pool. The reason why most players will opt for the extractor on this map is that you have this no ramp to your main sort of deal going on here, which means Hellions are a big threat. You can't just stick a queen on there. Spine crawler positioning, not the best on this map. So they like to get the Zergling speed up as quickly as possible to negate that threat.
Well, over in Koss's side, we do have a 15 command center followed up by a barracks and a refinery. I love this build. You actually get the orbital command center once you hit 19 out of 19 supply, and that way you don't lose out in any SEV training. There's a slight lose out in getting the barracks up and not being able to produce Marines, but this command center is going to be the one that alleviates any supply caps. So it's just like an all-around really tight build. I love this particular build.
Now, I have students ask me this question almost more than any other, but we see Machine here transferring 3 from his main to his natural, and students will point out that this doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense because you've not even yet reached minimal saturation in your main. Why waste the time sending them there? The only answer I've been able to come up with is that potentially if bunker rush comes, you want to have those drones down there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna just that's exactly the reason why I see drone transfers like that. You just want to make sure that there's no silly shenanigans and you can prepare for it. At least you have some drones to take out like bunkers and stuff.
Yeah, however, I do feel that that's unnecessary, especially on a map like this. Very long rush distance, but the drone was out on the map, was seeing what was going on. So that might not necessarily have been called for in this situation. He knows, though, having seen what Empire Cast is doing, that he doesn't have to prepare for the Hellions, which is a huge sigh of relief for any Zerg on this map.
Look at that, Empire Cast going to go ahead and already take his expansion. He is scouting his opponent with an SEV. He was able to see some Zerglings pop out there, but not a whole lot. In the meantime, bunker going down. He will be producing two Hellions. Double Hellion, of course, Reactor Hellion is probably one of the more common trends in this particular matchup. It's kind of interesting. Machine actually hasn't gotten for the third queen, so we don't see any creep spread at all. A lot of times you defeat these Hellions by going a slightly earlier creep spread and then just start edging out some sort of like some sort of spine crawler, something like that. But we don't see that at all. There's the spine crawler that goes down, but still no third queen. What do you think about the no third queen at this point?
That's interesting. There's been a huge trend. Well, there it is now as I start to talk about it. But there's been a trend in ZVT of more queens and faster, and I think that it's great. I always like having that third queen out there, mostly for the creep spread, but also just to manage any sort of threat that comes at you. A queen is a good thing to have.
Exactly. I mean, it just defends against stuff so well. Cass was actually saying, if I see Marine Marauder Hellion all-ins, I'm just going to go mass queens.
Yep.
Yeah, mass queens defends against that. You got your transfuses, so like the spine crawlers are extra tanky, and then of course you could just transfuse your own queens. They're really, really tanky. I mean, they don't deal a lot of damage, but they do deal a considerable amount of damage. So, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree with that more. And Day9 would point out, if you were here, that they also don't cost any larvas. That's yet another plus to having those queens out.
And you said it just like him, too.
Well, I don't know.
That inflection, that they also don't cost any larva.
Yeah, well, I think he would have asked his chat, and he would have waited until one of them gets it. That's not how I roll.
That's what you should do. You should just ask chat. Macro Hatch going down for Machine. I don't hate it. Baneling Nest as well coming up. He's up to 4 gas. And the lair is almost completed. We're almost positive that we will be witnessing a Spire. And don't you dare prove me wrong. I will kill you.
And this is exactly how Idra also plays this matchup. He has very strong CVT. Machine setting himself up very well in this game.
Have to agree. Now, one thing I do want to say, Cloak Banshee's out in the way. Will Machine actually be prepared for this? That's the big question. I don't think he has any indication to know that Cloak Banshee is coming out. And what I really like about, or really dislike actually about Machine right now, is that he hasn't taken any of the Xel'Naga towers. I know it's very difficult, but normally when Hellions are out in the field, you still have the ability to have a couple of Zerglings here and there out in the field like this one, and you should be able to see these Banshees coming out. But Machine has no clue. This is going to catch him completely by surprise.
Absolutely. This is never something you want to experience as a Zerg, and yeah. This is going to be ugly.
Oh, it is.
What's this, 5, 6, 7, 8? Is that 8, 9? Oh my goodness. I don't want to count anymore. I'm going to look away.
Yeah, don't even count because the whole natural is completely bopped in the face, man. Every single drone basically getting decimated. Let's go ahead and look in the Control R tab. 20 workers killed. How is that? What is going on, man? 20 workers killed. That is a staggering amount of drones to lose in this early game stage. That represented a third of the total harvesters that that Machine had, and this third is going to be now picked off. What is this third doing out here, man?
Well, Hellions taking control. Their main goal, yes, is to shut down, like we mentioned. There should be Zerglings at these Xel'Naga watchtowers. I would argue that you can't have that with 8 Hellions on the map. So that's good play by Cass. But also these 8 Hellions stop you from taking out these rocks. Machine's really only option was to go out and take this third. You can't really clear those Hellions out until you have Mutas. That takes a while. So really excellent play from Cass. You know he knows how to play this map against a Zerg.
Definitely punishing his opponent. Of course, Machine kind of it's a little bit cheeky to actually go and take your third before mutas are out, especially when it's such a heavy Hellion type of opening.
Absolutely.
So obviously, Cass having the material to actually counter stuff like that, the Banshees are going to very, very quickly cloak. But Overseer, oh my gosh, an Overseer does get in here. You'll be able to pick off one of the Banshees, but the second Banshee will just go on and run away. Still, the Hellions are a nuisance, and they're finally going to be chased away so that he can take down those destructive debris and finally get his hatch down.
No, you say Cass punishing Machine. I think that's exactly the right word to use. Because this Overlord you see here, oh, sorry, as I say this, the Hellion's getting taken out. That is a big deal. Map control totally swings in Machine's favor. Yes. Sorry, but this Overlord here, bottom center, that was there the whole time. That is, the second this was a lair, this should have been an Overseer, and he should have been able to see those Banshees coming.
Correct. But I know, honestly, I know Machine's style. He loves to like get those tiny, tiny little edges so that in the case that his opponent is playing super standard, because Banshees, let's be honest, Banshees are not a super standard way to know to go about TVZ. Cross map. If his opponent is playing super standard, he will be in like the best possible situation. You know, he's basically streamlined himself to destroy anybody that's just playing a completely standard game.
That is true. However, off of 8 Hellions, I think you have to suspect something is up. So your opponent already after 8 Hellions is not playing standard. There's going to be a ton of Marines coming out with that, and going to get like a princess-style endless Marine Hellion push.
Did you just say princess?
It's princess.
Who is that?
Artosis is
Oh, Juan? Oh yeah, his name's not Princess anymore, man.
Oh, it isn't?
It actually got. I heard
Jessica?
that it got. No, it's not Jessica. It was originally Windy.
Windy,
in
okay.
The NASL, but he changed it back to Terran apparently.
Okay, cool. Well, he's had about 1,000 names, so I just call him Princess. I think that's the best one he ever came up with.
Crazy, man.
It suits him. I mean, he does look, you know.
No, he
like
looks just like a princess.
An elegant, beautiful princess.
Mexican princess.
Yeah. Anyways, so we see Empire Cast predictably is pulled way into the lead in terms of supply, and that is directly related to the Banshee getting in. This is his game to lose. Bryce has got his work, or Machine's got his work cut out for him if he wants to come back.
I'll call him Bryce, man. And here's a big push at 189 supply. There's a lot of Marines and siege tanks over here. Combat shield +1 is just, or +2 is just about to finish. This is probably the best timing I could possibly think of right now. Just continuing the pressure. Look at that. There are burrowed banelings on the floor, but he's gonna wipe them clean very easily with just a couple of scans. But from here, nothing too crazy. I like what Cass is doing, just increasing his production and getting more expansions. Really, really nice job.
Did he see those burrowed banelings with those Hellions at the watchtower there?
I'm actually, if he had control of that, then 100% I know for a fact that he saw that.
All right, yeah, so it's probably going to be no dice with these burrowed banelings. Cass is going to be very diligent with his scans, as we've seen he already has been. This is going to take a miracle for Machine to pull this one out.
Agree. So let's see, he's actually going to go directly for that third base. I like that. One thing I have to say, Machine's creep spread hasn't been the best this game. We can see that it's receded so much, and Cass hasn't really done too much to counter it. So at this point, I feel like Machine not being able to have that creep spread for the Zerglings and Banelings is going to force him into a really awkward position. Look at this. He's actually going to go for a counterattack. Nope. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Machine, make up your mind. The third gets taken out over here in the top left-hand corner, and yes, Machine will go for the counter onto that third. Cass knows exactly what's coming. He sieges his siege tanks, and we're going to see a big engagement onto the main of Machine.
Here comes the base race.
Zerglings are just going to make short work of this. Banelings are actually splattering across the supply depots. That's the wrong thing to do. He wants to save those for the units. But in the meantime, Cass is just pushing forward so fast. Look at that, already at the natural where the third is just now being cleaned up. He's actually spending way too much time on the command centers. That's not what you want to be going into. You want to get rid of that production. 175 supply, 212. And we are going to have Cass taking this, most likely, with just a huge lead. I don't see any way for Machine to be able to base race this correctly.
This was the correct decision from Machine, I feel, but you can't forget about those Banshees in the game. That really, late early game, early mid game, that really.
And look at that, a defensive planetary fortress. How clutch! Cass is such a madman, dude. I mean, now all he has to worry about is these mutas. The mutas get cleaned up because there are turrets everywhere. He's making turrets with his SCVs. Marines are popping out so fast. They have 2-2. Holy crap! And these are only 1-0 upgraded mutas. And this is going to be it. Evil Geniuses is going to go down in this last series.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to be given a score of 3-1. To Empire.
And definitely bonus points in terms of style for the Ukrainian here with that defensive planetary fortress in main base.
Dude,
that was
so sick, man.
Yeah.
I should start doing that. It's like I always get into these positions where Zerglings just stream in. It's like what the hell do? I have no static defense. Oh wait, I have a 550 mineral, 150 gas, huge static defense unit. Let's go ahead and use that.
Now, let's not count Machine out of this totally yet, because he does have these burrowed banelings, so he could catch a lot of units here. So let's just see how that works.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Here they come. Oh no, they're not even.
No, not even.
He selects them. He's like, all right.
Oh, there's the scan.
Oh, there's the scan.
Oh my god, even kills those. Poor Machine, can't catch a break. GG comes out from him. So that's gonna do it, and Evil Genius will fall to Team Empire yet again by a score of 1-3. FireZerg, what are your thoughts on that last match?
I thought that was an extremely well played game by Cass. That just looked terrifying.
Yeah,
to play against.
Definitely. Obviously, Cass knows his stuff. He knows his stuff really well. I want to say another word, but he knows his stuff really well, and he just made Machine look silly. Of course, I think he got a little bit of a build order win. Machine plays oftentimes a little bit too greedy, especially with getting his drones and not optimizing himself. One thing I do want to mention, because I do the 15 Command Center opening a lot of times, I would have loved him to actually, instead of going for just a regular standard double hatch type of deal, go for that macro hatch. I think that would have been a lot better situation. But you're the resident Zerg expert. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, that is one way of approaching it. Certainly, pro tip of the day from Mr. Gretorp. I would personally tend to want to accelerate my build. So hey, he's not going to be putting any pressure on me. I don't have to buy those spine crawlers. I don't have to do X and Y. So I'm going to put my gases down faster, get my spire out faster. If he's going to put 8 Hellions out on the map, I'm going to want to have my mutas to clear those Hellions out a little bit faster. Sure. I don't think that's what we saw Machine do.
Definitely
took his gases at a very standard time. Definitely
important. Obviously, instead of getting that 150 mineral spine crawler, you can allocate all of that towards extractors and things like that. So
right, exactly.
Yeah, good point. Obviously, though, Cass just a complete mastermind. I said it before. He is so sick. Probably one of the best Terrans in the world, in my opinion. But I do have to give props and MVP award to, you know who it's going to be. It's going to be Happy, man.
Yeah, those Empire Terrans are terrifying. Yeah. That was extremely solid play.
Sickest game. But you can find out more information, everybody. If you missed it, you can tune into NASL.tv. Also, check us out on YouTube. I know we have a lot of matches, especially the qualifying matches, on our YouTube account, NA Star League. So you can head over there to see all these teams duke it out. I do want to mention, not last but not least, but I do want to mention our sponsors. A big thanks to our sponsors, the people that made this possible. It's going to be Cooler Master, Kingston, Azo, and GoSuit Coaching. And I want to give a really big shout out to, of course, our systems sponsor, and it is iBuyPower. So a big thanks to them. You can see those sexy beasts over there on the corners. They're the ones powering all of our gameplay and allowing us to stream and do everything that is wonderful. So thanks to them, and also thanks to you, FireZerg. Where can they find you?
Oh, thank you. GoToCoaching.com. Go check me out there.
Easy.
Shout out to the map makers as well. Those maps made for some excellent games.
Yep.
And thank you guys so much for having me. It was a great pleasure to cast with you.
Definitely. And just to let you guys know where you can tune in tomorrow, we will have a match of Mouse versus Roxkiss. Those two sick European teams will be going up against each other in the North American Star Team League. So definitely tune into that. It's going to be 6 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. EST for all you people on the East Coast. And, of course, I don't know the conversions. I'm sorry. But no, in Thailand, it's going to be 3 a.m. Thailand Central Time. I know that. Anyway, also on Sunday we're going to be having our huge show match. It's going to be a $500 show match that we're just starting up, and it will be featuring Hero, Team Liquid's Hero, against Pult, formerly Pult Prime, of course now TSL Pult. So check that out. That's going to be ridiculous, and I can't wait for that. But any last words, FireZerg?
No, I'm definitely stoked to watch that. That's going to be awesome.
That's going to be absolutely
so
sick.
check that
So
out.
everybody tune into that Sunday. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. PST, we have another match. As I said, Mouse Sports versus Roxkiss. I'm Andre Gretorp Hengshaw. This was, of course, FireZerg. We're out for today. Take it easy, guys.
Well,
Apparently.
actually, your teammate in control once called me the god of cheese.
Really?
The god of cheese. So I believe I'm way ahead of you again, Jake.
It's okay. All right. I'll be the bigger man today and not say anything since we're casting.